Greetings, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2025. The big theme, overall theme, is learning, communications, selling. Now, but before I really break that down into more detail, why I'm starting there is there was a new moon solar eclipse in Aries on March the 29th. Solar eclipses can take 30 to 60 days to reveal what it was trying to bring something new into your life. Aries itself is about new undertakings, taking the lead, wanting to initiate new projects. So it's this fiery new beginning for the whole world. For Aquarius, it's 3 signs. Aries is 3 signs past Aquarius. So this major spotlight that could take a couple of months to start more fully revealing itself. And because the eclipse in Aries is part of a 19-year cycle, this could be impacting you for years to come. So the focus is on the 3rd house of learning, communications, selling. The 3rd house can personally put a focus on siblings, you could be changing neighborhoods, that's the 3rd house, or getting more involved with your neighbors. So I want to break down some of the possibilities of the 3rd house that it's trying to come into your life in a major new direction. Many of you could just simply be going back to school or starting college, starting high school. Now, Mercury is the planet of decision-making, curiosity, and learning. Mercury went retrograde in the middle of March in Aries in your 3rd house of learning and communications. But it's retrograding, and it's retrograding out of Aries as we get closer to April into backing up into Pisces. And it's in Pisces and going direct on April the 7th. Pisces is the 2nd sign past Aquarius. The 2nd sector deals with money, your income. Could be dealing with your possessions, could be dealing with your sense of self-worth, but let's just focus on your income. So with Mercury, you might have been, when it went retrograde in Aries in your 3rd in the middle of March, it's when you, prior to it was retrograde, it was already in Aries, you could have been really thinking, planning, Mercury, of how to increase your income, how to learn something, 3rd house, and then it's retrograding back into the 2nd of income. Now, Venus, that planet of creativity and desire, what we value, Venus went retrograde in Aries, so it's already there in February, where it's in your 3rd house. Venus in the 3rd could be creative writing, acting, singing, because it's all that creative energies with communications. But Venus is what we really value and appreciate, and that could be about learning or selling yourself, communications, or creative writing. But then the Venus went retrograde March the 1st. And as it got closer to April, it retrograded out of Aries back into Pisces in your 2nd house of income, joining decisive Mercury in Pisces. When Venus retrogrades, it tests relationships. It may cause you to reevaluate your relationships. You could also be reevaluating any of your creative aspirations, maybe deciding, should I continue or should I get more involved on a creative level? But Venus is retrograde, still questioning still second guessing, still testing creatively, romantically, until April the 12th, at which point the Venus goes direct, joining Mercury that's already been direct. So that Mercury is all the learning, the negotiating, to asking your boss, you want a raise, or very good for selling, for negotiating, which also brings into that third of sales, with negotiating Mercury in the second house of income. The Venus can bring in more harmony, more cooperation, seeking a win-win situation. Venus is the power of attraction, so you could be attracting more financial opportunities. Now, there's more to talk about finances and income, because I think that's the important thread to describe this solar eclipse that's going to impact you for a couple of months and for a few years in the third house of learning. But before I go dig deeper into this, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Now, the new moon solar eclipse was in Aries. Aries taking the lead, initiating new projects, new ventures. But Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. Mars is the warrior, assertive, aggressive planet, impatient, irritable. Then Mars is going into Leo the middle of April to the middle of June, once every 2 years. In Leo, Leo is opposite Aquarius. So this assertive, ambitious, aggressive Mars is going to be, for the next couple of months, every 2 years in your 7th house. Is this marriage, partnerships, contracts, or even the public at large, where you're really asserting yourself to expand your customer base? But we'll have clues of how this could play out for you, because Mars already went into Leo, into your 7th house of partnerships and contracts and negotiations in November 2024. December the 6th, it went retrograde, but still remaining in Leo in your 7th house. But when it went retrograde, you could have been feeling more irritable, more impatient, more frustrated. And what you might have been trying to negotiate with customers or contracts or business partnerships of the 7th, with the retrograde, that might have started becoming more slowed down, taking more effort. So the Mars is going back into the 7th, April the 17th, for 2 months. But you got clues, especially in November. By December, you might have just been second guessing and being frustrated by it. But now it's back. You have more clarity. You're ready to go, more confidence. Now, with Mars in the 7th, you could be doing a lot of partnerships, negotiations. I would think with the Mercury and the Venus in the 2nd, you're trying to learn how to make more money. The Mars in the 7th could be contract negotiations or going into a partnership, a contract, a financial contract. Now Saturn and the North Node will add more to this. The North Node is an 18 to 19 year cycle. In hindsight, when you look back over if the North Node, where it was falling in your chart, if it was impacting any planet, it's going to feel like it was meant to be. It's going to feel like divine intervention. But while you're going through it, it usually doesn't, for most people, it doesn't seem like this is you're in a really karmic period. But what it will do is the transiting North Node will amplify and intensify whatever it's impacting. Now it's impacting Saturn, but it's in your transiting Pisces in your second house of income. So the North Node went into your, every 18 to 19 years, moved into your second house of income at the beginning of 2025, remaining there for a year and a half. So there's this compulsiveness, this drive, this ambition to make more money. But it's aligning with Saturn. Now Saturn is a 30-year cycle. Saturn went into Pisces in March of 2023. At the very end of May 2025, it's leaving Pisces, going into Aries only briefly, because by September, it's retrograding back into Pisces to tie up any loose ends, bring some closure of all that commitment and focus of Saturn in Pisces in your second house of income. As an aside, this is a big deal for the world because Pisces is the last sign, it's transition, it's uncertainty, and then it goes into Aries, all new beginnings. So Saturn with this 30-year cycle, when it comes to business, career, your commitments, your responsibilities, that Saturn in Pisces could be going through this uncertain, Mercury, transitional, anxiety-provoking time for everybody in the world. But then you're ready to make more commitment and take action in general for the world when the Saturn moves into Aries. But between April the 17th and April the 23rd, Saturn is exactly aligning with the North Node in your second house of income. So the North Node is amplifying the commitment and the responsibilities of Saturn to make more money. This is often about building a long-term solid foundation, and it's in your second house of income. And with Mercury and Venus moving forwards in your second house of income, this is all about how to increase your finances. But we've got to pull back and look at the bigger picture with the new moon solar eclipse in the 3rd. Now you could be learning how to make more money. You could be starting a new business or a sideline business to make more money. The 3rd house can be the learning, but the 3rd house could also be the selling. The 3rd house can have a lot to do often with marketing. So that could bring in, having an online business. And with the 3rd, lots of communications, lots of marketing online of ways to make more money. And with Mars, from the middle of April to the middle of June in your 7th, you could be bringing in a partnership, working with a partnership, starting a new business that could be for the selling, could be online business. But the 7th of partnerships could also be your customer base, the general public. So you could be very aggressive and ambitious, trying to expand your customer base to make more money. I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.